Hi Taurus, this is Jean. This is my channel, Rebel Yell Rising, and this is your monthly drawing for July 2017. Thank you all so much for joining me. For my new subscribers, thank you guys for subscribing and getting the notifications of these readings. It supports my channel, and it also personally lets me know that the readings are really resonating with you guys. I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you also for the likes and the shares. And as always, I appreciate feedback and comments. I love connecting with you guys, and I love hearing, personal stories about, what's going on in your lives and how these readings are helping you. Okay, so for this month, if you've been, viewing my channel for a little bit here now, I've started recently doing the daily and weeklies. Instead of kind of just drawing the cards and reading them, like letting them fall where they lie, I started setting an intent of drawing cards with what can we learn, or what do we need to do or know or embody so that we can be empowered, so that we can find our own strength, right? So that we can shine. So for this month for you guys, Taurus, that's what the focus is of this reading. How can Taurus find their own strength? Or what is needed to know? What's the message so that you can embody it for the month of July? I am using the Isis Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. I love her decks. They are so deep. I'm sure many of you guys also do Oracle and or Tarot decks readings. And if you've never used her decks, try one. I think you'll really like it. And if you have, then you guys know what I'm talking about. They are so profound. The messages are so deep. They're really not for an everyday, is he going to call me? Should I play this lottery ticket? No, it's more profound, right? It works on the basis or the premise of, getting to the root of the situation on a spiritual level. Then once that's kind of fixed, then the outer world sort of reflects, as within, so without. And I really want to help people find their voice, their strength, their rebel yell, right? So this spread is called The Wing of Isis, and I apologize now if I take a long time, but I really appreciate your patience. I don't know all of these cards by memory. Yeah, I do get a lot of intuitive messages as I read the cards, but I also want to stay true to what these cards mean because I read them both literally and figuratively, and I relay intuitive messages that I get. Okay, so the first card is, what is the issue for Taurus on a spiritual level for the month of July? And the card is Divine Destiny. That's really pretty. Oh, and for anybody who might not be aware or who might be wondering, Isis, this is Isis as in the Egyptian goddess, not Isis as in that horrible terrorist group. Okay? Definitely not. All right. So let's see. Oh, beautiful. See, I am so glad I'm using this. I just feel like these messages are so empowering. This is totally what I was just talking about. So the issue for Taurus on a spiritual level, right? This is a call to your divine warrior. This card is guiding you to your divine destiny. The divine warrior energy within you, it exists within men and women. It's the inner propulsion to continue a worthy path, even when it's difficult to do so. When you're faced with a challenge, a true warrior will summon more of themselves to the cause. That could be more of your own wisdom, more focus, more intelligence, or even just surrendering, which usually can take more energy and more courage to surrender. The divine warrior within has great inner resourcefulness and determination. That's the part of you that is going to lead you to spiritual success. So let me just skim the rest of this and see if there's anything that kind of jumps out at me for you guys. So this can come to you at a time when you feel like there's something that you're struggling to attain. And for Taurus, it could be a number of things. If you're struggling to attain peace and settle a possible bankruptcy issue that you've got going on, anything in your life, right, where you feel like you might be struggling to attain, this is also kind of telling you to like muster more of that inner strength and that inner divine warrior within you, and to keep plodding along, even though times can be very challenging. What this is also saying is that for each of you guys, that particular path in your life, it's going to be different, right? From viewer to viewer. So for some of you, it's going to call on you to channel and muster up more focus. For others, it could be more intelligence. For others, it will be, and I don't want to say merely in a sense to diminish it, but it could be like mustering the strength to receive and surrender, which is not easy. Okay. So for Taurus, for the month of July, whatever's going on externally, the spiritual issue at hand is that you are on the path of the divine warrior, and allowing that divine warrior to be that strong soldier within you to keep on keeping on, if you will, right? And that will help you continue further along your spiritual path. It'll get you there. Okay, so this next card is how you can best heal it on a day-to-day life. Again, as within, so without, right? So whatever is being felt internally is being reflected externally. So on a physical level, how you can best heal this in your day-to-day life is the divine solar child reborn. All right, now give me a second to flip to that one. I know it's kind of weird looking with her and that little baby being this blue, green, turquoise color, but there's usually a reason for that. QRS, right? I know, don't laugh at me. Okay. Guys, this is great. So how can you heal this in your day-to-day life? What this is saying is that a dark period and a intense struggle in your life is over. You're starting a new chapter. A new phase is upon you. One of hope, glory, light, and triumph. And it's won through boldness and persistence. So it kind of touches up on that last card. Even when you feel like giving up, you choose to stay strong, surrender to the divine, and continue with the path. You have been through so much, and victory is upon you. A new consciousness within you is born. So the baby that is in Isis's hands and her lap here it's a metaphor. It's a new consciousness that you're giving birth to. So let's see if there's anything else that jumps out here. Let me see. Yeah, okay. That's pretty much the extent. So what it's saying again, it's really echoing the first card. So in your daily lives, you might be facing struggles, right? Don't we all? But they might just, like, could this struggle be the straw that breaks the camel's back? Could this argument be, the last straw? Maybe you feel like if I hear one more no or one more rejection, or if I get served one more time, What this is saying is like in your daily life, every day, just be strong, continue on. Be that bull that Taurus is, right? It's kind of, it's very beautiful the way these messages kind of like have this seam that like goes along each of the cards, and there's like that common thread. So stay strong, be in your power, and know that struggles are coming to a close. Now, keep in mind, this is for the whole month of July. So it could be that there are going to be challenges in the month of July, but very possibly as we get closer to the end of July, things are going to start to wrap up. And part of those struggles is that you're changing, Taurus. You are birthing, right here, you're birthing a new consciousness, a new way of thinking, and a new way of believing. And that is probably causing a lot of friction in your outer life as your external world is starting to shift to match your internal world. Okay? So the third card we have here for you guys is, what will the gift or the outcome of this whole situation be? So let's take a look and see. Portal of light. Look, see, I love this art. She glides on wings through time and space. All right, now, appreciate your patience again. Give me a second. Okay, so healing or outcome or the blessing of this situation. So what this card speaks to is that you are a being conscious on levels beyond the physical world, right? That you're more than just your physical body. You are being guided to work with your healing powers beyond the confines of time and space, and to allow your sense of self to expand. It is safe for you to do this. You won't become ungrounded through your spiritual growth. You're not leaving your earthly awareness, but you are adding to it. You are growing in power and awareness. So this, again, is kind of reiterating what I was just kind of saying, is that you are like growing and almost like bursting at the seams of who you used to be, right? Kind of like a, I don't know, kind of like one of those insects that have that exoskeleton, and I'm not really sure, I can't think of any right away, but I feel like you're shedding that outer exoskeleton. You are shedding that old way of being and believing, and the old, your old consciousness, right? So if you don't understand what that means, it's like you used to. Now, Tauruses are kind of known for not really being like the spiritual sign of the zodiac. So that's partly possibly why like a lot of this is going on. You could be embracing this new consciousness that like, hey, there's really more to life, or, I'm really, expanding and I want more, or I believe more, or I can do more, right? And what this is saying is that the outcome, which is going to be a blessing for you, is going to be several things. That there will be healing of you, and it can and it will cross through time and space. So past life healing, you might not be aware of it. Maybe you are, right? And maybe you're going to be consciously doing past life work and healing past lives. That's one healing. Another is if you guys do energy work, and that was specifically mentioned in here, you could send healing energy deliberately to past lives in general, or specific instances in your childhood, or even just in your past. But there's going to be healing. Because remember, time and space are not linear, right? Like the way we feel it, the way we experience it here on Earth. But it's more, oh gosh, I'm not even sure how to explain it because I'm not that educated scientifically like that. So I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. But what this is saying is that you are going to be healing. And this is calling on you, if you've been desiring or feeling that calling to do healing work, to do energy healing. Let me see what else it mentioned. Yeah, working with healing powers. But for some reason you've been hesitant, that you can feel safe in knowing that that's the right path, or that you will not lose yourself, or that you are not going to be, I'm not really sure what you could possibly be afraid of, just because I'm not in your shoes, but whatever you're afraid of, what this card is saying is that you can feel safe doing so. You're not going to lose yourself. You're not going to lose your identity. It's not going to change who you are. You're not going to be that weird, hippie person down the road, or, whatever. What this is saying is like, it's just going to add to who you are. It's not going to change who you are. So that is the outcome or blessing for month of July for you, Taurus, and that's wonderful. All right, now this next card will be the biggest challenge or opportunity for you during this process. Goddess of 10,000 Names. Yeah, it's a very pretty card. See, all these cards, they're so pretty. I can't even imagine how they were initially created, and how they chose to do the artwork, and how Alana Fairchild, got these messages. It's such a powerful deck. Okay. All right, guys. So again, it's beautiful how these meanings and messages are kind of like flowing from card to card. So the biggest challenge here, what this is saying is that it's okay to let go of certain roles that you have filled throughout your life. So the goddess Isis here was been known by 10,000 names, right? A name holds power. It can define or energize you, right? Names, faces, and roles, however, are just a part of your being. You exist beyond them. You might have been a mother. You might have been an executive, a healer. These are just some examples of what people might refer to you as or call you. Good person, strong person, daughter, soldier, saint, grandmother, uncle. But what this is saying is that now is the time to move beyond these roles. There's nothing wrong with them, and it can still be expressed, right? You can still be a mom. You could still be a good person. You're still a grandmother, but that you are not that identity. It's just like a part of, it's how you are. It's not who you are, if that makes sense, right? And that others might expect you to fulfill a certain role. For example, grandmother so-and-so, has always been, super grounded and analytical. And it's kind of weird that she's now into, what is that? Reiki, right? So what this is saying is sometimes it's hard to break free of others' roles that they've prescribed us, right? If we claim ourselves a certain role, that's one thing. We step into that because maybe it empowers us. It can actually be harder when there's certain roles that people have labeled us, that's my good son. That's the son that always calls me on Sunday. Oh, that's my lazy son. I don't know that people would actually refer to their children as like that, but I'm just trying to give you an example, right? But that's so-and-so. They can always be counted on. what this is saying is like, as you're continuing through this journey, don't allow labels or roles that other have prescribed you to keep you in that role, especially if it's not who you feel. And that we take on many roles through our lifetime, right? One person can be mother, daughter, sister, wife, author, writer, student, right? I mean, throughout our lives, we take on many roles, but don't allow that to be who you are. It's more like that's something you do than your essence. And don't get attached to it, because there will be another role for you to do, if you will, that will give you just as much joy or happiness. So your challenge in this month is to let go of those almost constraints, if you will, that others have prescribed onto you and that you've prescribed yourself. You're so much more than one role, right? And I believe, let me double check, but I believe this is the outcome card. Nope, see, I'm glad I checked. Special guidance that is there to help you resolve this. Let's see. Ooh, Temple of Lapis Lazuli, Goddess of the Ancient Skies. All right. Was not expecting one of these cards. The Temple of, there's a couple of cards that have gems on them. Carnelian, obsidian, and this one is lapis. So special guidance, what this is saying to you is that your soul is very ancient. And that there's a lot of wisdom in it. And that your soul holds a unique, high vibrational awareness that can help humanity transition from a civilization based in fear to a love-based culture. And this is asking you to come into a deeper acceptance of your own inner being now, of your own inner knowing. Okay? So this is saying that sometimes there can be a challenge to people. I'm sorry, let me rewind a little bit. We reincarnate numerous times, and we don't always incarnate on Earth, right? There are many other ways to incarnate because our soul just wants to evolve and to experience and to grow and to learn. And, well, just like if you are a mechanic and you work the same type of car every day, you're not going to learn how to fix, Hondas if you're always working on Jeeps, right? So just like in our daily human existence, we want different experiences because it's how we grow and we crave new experiences. Our soul does too, on a much more vast case. So what this is saying is that sometimes souls that, have a very higher consciousness, if you will, can feel like they don't fit in or that people don't understand them. And if you move into a place of fear, that not feeling like you're part of the group or that you don't fit in or that you haven't found a tribe that you just get along with or click with, that you could go down one of two paths. You could end up resenting or hating or being angry or loathing those that make you feel like that or yourself. Or you could step into love and help grow your own consciousness, feed that inner light and love, and that will help others to then recognize and see their own light. Does that make sense? That's what this guidance is for you, Taurus, for the month of July. Trust in your own wisdom. Trust in your heart. That's what the card is saying. Let me see. That this is much needed spiritual recognition that you have wisdom and understanding within you that is very ancient, and it's coming to you from your soul. It's not anything that you've read. It's not anything that you saw on TV, but that your soul remembers. The soul remembers who it is, where it's been, and its experiences. And that these are experiences that are probably longing to come out and to help, and they will shine in the world. Okay, so that is what your guidance is for the month of July. To stay in your heart, trust in your wisdom, trust in your heart. Okay, so I was about to put the book back, but let me do a really quick recap for you guys, because I know it was kind of long and pretty deep. So the issue at hand for you, Taurus, for the month of July is to let that divine warrior inside of you lead you to your divine destiny, right? To muster the troops, if you will. And the troops are your energy, your strength internally, your focus, your wisdom, whatever weapon you have in your arsenal, which are the ones that I just named, you will know which is the right one for your particular battle, right? And use it. And if it's time to let your inner warrior rest, that's what this is saying also. But only you know what is needed in your life. So that's your spiritual issue. How you can heal it in a day-to-day life is to not give up when in your daily existence, as you're going to get gas and you see something tragic happening on the news, to not let it bring you down. As you're having a conversation with a coworker or a friend and they're trying to talk politics with you, and you just get upset and frustrated and angry, because maybe you feel like they're not even getting it, like they're missing the big picture. And Taurus, the big picture is not that you're right, okay, and not that they're wrong, or not that you're right and that you're wrong. The big picture is that you're evolving as a soul. So you're going to be encountering situations and experiences in your daily life that are going to start to rub you the wrong way. Maybe things are going to start to feel a little bit more harsh as you're starting to grow this new consciousness, birthing this new consciousness. And it's like a newborn baby, right? It was so happy and content in its mother's womb, and now it's out in the harsh sunlight. And, it can't feed itself. It has to be taken care of and cared for and protected. So for you in your daily life for the month of July, know that you're birthing a new consciousness and that the world is a rough place. Take care of that baby consciousness, that part of you that is being birthed and born. Here, okay. And the gift of this is that you will be, oh my gosh, I don't even know if I remember what that card meant. Sorry, give me a second. I'm going to go really fast so you guys can get this one again. You see how long these cards are? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So the gift for the month of July for you, Taurus, as part of this, birthing this new consciousness, it's going to be healing through space and time. And again, this could be consciously or unconsciously. It could be through something that you do, past life work, energy healing, or it could just be a gift. And I feel like it's going to be not something that you consciously do. I feel like this is going to be something that, like, by the grace of God, healing is going to be bestowed upon you. Okay? And then the biggest challenge is going to be for you guys to release any roles that you feel that you are, and understanding that you're not mother, you're not author, you're not student, you're not father, you're not soccer player. These are things that you do. These are roles that you play and carry out during your lifetime, but they are not who your soul is. They are not who you are. That's the challenge for you, Taurus, to understand that and to know that you, just like everybody else, you go through cycles, right? And we, just like you put on, you know, one outfit one weekend to go out with, you know, the guys, and then you might put on a business suit to go to work, and then you might put on a different outfit to go out on a date, right? You don't wear the same style of clothes your whole life for everything. So, and you're not your outfit. You're not the clothes that you wear. You are not the role. These are just what you do. All right. They help you express yourself like your different outfit. They express yourself. It's an outward expression of your inside, but it is not who you are. And the Temple of Lapis Lazuli is the special guidance for you, that your soul heralds from a very ancient and far away place. You carry ancient knowledge with you, and know that when you're frustrated, or you feel like you can't fit in, or you can't connect with people, or they don't know what you're talking about, it's okay. When the timing is right, divine right timing, it will come out, and people will understand you better, and you will understand others better. But the guidance is for you to know that in your heart what the truth is. Not the truth, but your truth, right? Be in your heart. Move into your heart space. And through everything, the guidance is to kind of try to come from a place of unconditional love, right? And I say try because I feel like only parents really have and know unconditional love. The rest of us can just strive for it. All right, Taurus, I thank you again so much for joining me. I appreciate any feedback. I'd love to hear how you guys are enjoying these readings, and take care.